in this session. So we will study about the relativity. In that topic, so we have to cover up the relativistic velocity addition theorem and the variation of a mass with a velocity. By using the Einstein postulates, so and the Lorentz transformation equation, so we have to derive what is the relativistic velocity addition theorem. So before that, so we have to see what happens in a classical mechanics. The person is standing, so he is the observer, and a girl is throwing a ball in the same direction, so in which a person is moving. The velocity of the girl is 1 meter per second. The velocity of the ball is 1.5 meter per second. So both are in the same direction. The velocity of the ball appears to be, that is 2.5 meter per second for the observer, for him. Because, so this is u dash plus v. According to classical mechanics, easily we can add up these two values. That is 1.5 plus 1. So it is equal to 2.5 meter per second. So easily we can add up in the first case. So in the second case, what happens? A girl is throwing the ball in the opposite direction, but the person is moving in same direction. So it means that, so for the observer who is observing the ball, for him the ball velocity appears to be u dash minus v, that is 1.5 minus 1, that will be equal to 0.5 meter per second. For him the ball velocity appears to be lower. So that is in case of classical mechanics. Now take the second example. A spaceship is moving in x direction, along this direction. At the same direction, the laser light is also moving with a speed of light. That speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. The velocity of the spaceship is half of that is 0.5 c. So according to classical mechanics, it becomes 3 plus 0.5, that will be 3.5. But this is not possible according to special theory of relativity. According to special theory of relativity, now we have to derive what is the velocity addition theorem. So in case of relativity, or a person or a body which is moving with a relativistic velocity, in that case we have to apply the relativistic velocity addition theorem. Let us derive the velocity addition theorem. So we can observe the diagram. Here there are two frames of reference, S and S dash. There are two observers, the O and O dash. The observer is O in S frame, observer O dash is in S dash frame. Now the S dash frame is moving with a velocity, S frame is stationary frame. At the time t is equal to 0, so both O and O dash coincides. After that, the S dash frame starts moving with a uniform velocity along the x-axis. Now in that frame, so we are considering a particle P, so at any one point, so take it as this is the A1 point, so it is moving. So after some time it reaches the point A2. Now we have to see what is the velocity component of the particle P from the observer O dash in the frame of reference S dash. So we know that this is the general formula we are applying now, that is the velocity component along the x direction, y direction and z direction, that is u dash ux dash, uy dash and uz dash. So will be equal to dx by dt dash, dy by dt dash and dz dash by dt dash. Now the velocity component of the particle which is observed by the observer O in the frame S, for him it appears to be dx by dt, dy by dt and dz by dt. Now we are using the Lorentz transformation equations, so which we already derived in the last session. That is x dash is equal to x minus vt by root of 1 minus v square by c square. So here v is the velocity of the object or a spaceship, so which is moving with a velocity v, and c is the speed of a light. So y, in y direction there is no any moment, so that's why we are taking it as y dash is equal to y, and along the z direction also there is no any velocity component, so z dash is equal to z. So and time, so we are also taking that expression t dash is equal to t minus xv by c square by root of 1 minus v square by c square. So now we have to differentiate all the four expressions. So dx dash is equal to dx minus v into dt. So denominator term remains same. Dy dash is equal to dy, dz dash is equal to dz, and dt dash is equal to dt minus dx v by c square divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. Now we have to substitute these equations in the equation 1, that is ux dash is equal to dx dash by dt dash. ಆ equation ನಾವು substitution ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, that is dx minus vt by root of 1 minus v square by c square. So same thing we are substituting for dt dash also. So by using this, so by seeing this, so easily we can say the denominator term 1 minus v square by c square get cancelled, and remaining term is dx minus v into dt by dt minus dx into v by c square. Dividing both numerator and denominator by dt, so we will get the expression dx by dt minus v 1 minus dx by dt v by c square. So here we are substituting for dx by dt. Dx by dt can be written as u. So now the expression becomes like this. Now we have to see the general expression for the velocity addition theorem. So that is u dash is equal to u minus v by 1 minus uv by c square, and one more expressions we will get, that is inverse transformation equation, that is u is equal to u dash plus v by 1 plus u dash v by c square. So this is the relativistic velocity addition theorem. So in that case, suppose a body which is moving with a relativistic speed, in such cases we have to use this formula. So that is not simple addition, so this formula we have to use in that case. Now we have to study the variation of a mass with a velocity. So how the mass of a body varies with a velocity? According to classical mechanics, the mass of a body does not change with a velocity. But according to special theory of relativity, the mass of a body changes with a relativistic speed. If a body is moving with a relativistic speed, so then its mass increases. So in this diagram, so easily we can observe that there are two frames of reference S and S dash. So observer is at point O and O dash. There are two particles or two bodies, so which is having the mass m1 and m2 are moving opposite to each other. So after collision, so it becomes, so that is m1 plus m2. So here both the bodies, after the collision it is coalesced into one body. So S dash is a moving frame. So in that moving frame we are observing the collision of the bodies. so which is having the mass m1 and m2. So consider the collision of the two bodies in S dash frame, and we are observing from the stationary frame S. Let the two bodies of a mass m1 and m2 are traveling with a velocity u and minus u. So because both the bodies are moving opposite to each other with the same velocity, the two bodies collide, and after the collision they collapse into one body. Now in the system S, we are observing that before the collision the mass of the bodies are m1 and m2 and their velocities are u1 and u2 respectively. So after the collision, what happens? So the mass of the collapsed body, so ಎರಡು ಬಾಡಿ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So that body mass is m1 plus m2 and its velocity is so v. Using the law of addition of velocities, so we can say that is u1 is equal to u plus v by 1 plus uv by c square. So for the velocity of a body having the mass m1, for body which is having the mass m2, so that is the velocity u2 is equal to minus u, and here also we are getting the minus sign itself. Now we have to do applying the principle of conservation of a momentum of a system. So before and after the collision. So before the collision, so initial the mass into velocity is the momentum. So m1 and u1 is the momentum of the first particle. So m2 u2 is the momentum of the second particle. So before the collisions we have to take sum of these two bodies. So after the collisions it becomes one body. So that is the mass of those bodies is m1 plus m2 and the velocity of that body is v. So which is, so both u1 and u2 gets converted into the velocity v. Now substitute for u1 and u2 in the law of conservation of momentum expression. So we are substituting for u1, that is u plus v by 1 plus uv by c square, and here so we are substituting for u2. Now we are rearranging the terms. So m1v plus m2v in RHS side. So after splitting this, so we have to take m1 as a common, and this term remains same, minus we shift from right hand to left hand side. So we have to do the simplification here. So m1 by m2 can be written as, so here 1 plus uv by c square, 1 minus uv by c square. So here the numerator term vanishes. So after the only denominator term remains here. So we can try, and so that expression, so we have to take it as a 1. Next expression is by using the above equation. So u1 and u2. So once again we have to do the calculation, so in different way. So we will get m1 by m2 is equal to 1 plus u2 square by c square divided by root of 1 minus u1 square by c square. So there is a lot of mathematical steps here, so I have not shown this. So simply we can remember this expression. So after that, now we have to consider let the body of a mass m2 is moving with a zero velocity in S before the collision. Now we are substituting for m1 becomes m, u1 is equal to v, m2 is equal to m0. We have to substitute these values in the above expression. So we will get m by m0 is equal to 1 by root of 1 minus v square by c square. So after that, so just we are rearranging the terms. So this is the relativistic formula for the variation of a mass with a velocity, that is m is equal to m0 by root of 1 minus v square by c square. So this is the final expression so we need to get. And next, by using that velocity mass expression, so we can say when the velocity is very much less than speed of a light, in such cases the relativistic mass becomes equal to the rest mass. In the second case, so when the velocity of a moving particle is comparable to the velocity of a light, then the relativistic mass of the body appears to be greater than the rest mass. Second case, when the velocity of a body is equal to the speed of a light. In such cases, the relativistic mass of the body appears to be infinite. So this is practically not possible. So because as the velocity increases, the mass of the body also increases according to relativity. So when it reaches the speed of light, then the mass becomes infinite. So that is unimaginary. So when, in the next case, when the velocity is greater than the speed of light, what happens? So relativistic mass becomes imaginary. So practically when the body cannot attain the speed of light itself, if the velocity is greater than c, it is imaginary. It is impractical concept. In this session, so we studied about the relativistic velocity addition theorem and the variation of a mass with a velocity. Thank you.